Hello fellow survivors, and welcome back to Prologue, or should I say welcome way back to Prologue, because this is the survival game that goes for realism and hard modes and is in development still by PlayerUnknown Productions. If you're watching this video upon release, it's likely it hasn't actually come out of early access yet. It comes out of early access publicly on November 20th, so it's very soon. However, I'm one of the playtesters of this. I am what's called a Pathfinder, which is someone who has access to dev builds before the public, and that's what I'm playing now. Despite it being a playtesting thing, you actually have permission to share it publicly, which is nice of them, isn't it? So what I'm going to be playing now is a dev build of basically the entire game that will be coming out on early access on November 20th. Once it is out on early access, it will maybe look a little bit different than what you're about to see today, but the gist of it will be the same, and then I'll keep polishing it over a year or who knows how long. Basically, since I played the Wayback last time, it has been improved quite a bit. It keeps being polished here and there. And the one thing they've added now, which is really up my alley, is they now have game modes. So you have the Go Wayback, which is basically story mode, where the gist of the game is the same as in survival mode. It's just that you got to get to this weather station, and when the game comes out of early access and the story is added, there'll be, you know, a story reason of why you are Lucy and why you're getting to the weather tower. But for the early access version, it's basically just an objective-based survival game. Then you have the survival mode, which is quite literally just to survive. It can be quite difficult. There can be no cabins at all, and it's quite tricky. Or you can do free roam, which is just like a peaceful little thing. There'll also be custom settings, so you can make your own. You can even make your own maps. There's all sorts of features added. Now this is cabinless, which is a little tricky, but I think you can amend it to not be cabinless if you like. And if you start this a new game, I believe it starts the standard Go Wayback mode. We're going to have a little look at this one, the objective one. I think having cabins, though, is a bit more interesting than having it without cabins, so I probably will go back to this, but it's an interesting feature. Let's actually have a quick look what happens if you spawn in survival mode. So another thing they added is this thing. Initially, when they had the game, they actually didn't have any tutorials at all. It was meant to be kind of hard and realistic. You weren't supposed to know anything. You had to learn as you go along. A bit like The Long Dark, which actually developers haven't played, at least not PlayerUnknown hasn't played it, where you don't really have many tutorials. But they decided to change that to basically make it optional. So, for example, I got frustrated that I couldn't holster my items. It turned out you could. It's just that there was a button that wasn't obvious. It was button number 5. And now they basically made a layout that says what all the buttons do. Then there's also general tips, things like, you know, you can refill water from the river, that sort of thing. And you can also choose to have interactions to make it easy to learn. And you can optionally have the weather tower on the map. You don't need to do that. There's also other mechanics as well. We'll get to it. Lucy, you need to survive. Hire me as a voice actor. Right. So as I said, it's listed as cabinless mode, but it's not actually cabinless. I think that's because the vision of PlayerUnknown is to have a mode that is cabinless, which he kind of like called what do you call it? Well, it's kind of like Naked and Afraid type of chance without cabins. It's quite hard. But I prefer having survival mode with cabins. So if this is the first time watching this game, let me introduce you what's happening. So you're now in a cabin. This is the starter cabin. The starter cabin has everything you want. Before we do that, let's kick outside and look at this. Isn't this amazing? I gotta say, the world building that the team has done is fantastic. All of this is procedurally generated, randomly generated, which is fantastic. They do have obviously systems in place. It's not completely random in the sense that, you can have two rocks on top of each other. There's an algorithm here through machine learning that follows certain rules. So the game basically creates this little black and white height map that's randomly generated. But even then, it's this limit, so there's only about 2 billion or so possibilities. And then it will create the terrain and place cabins and so on, and resources around, and then it will follow certain logic that is set in place by many different systems that the game has, which allows you to get stuff like this, like a lush forest of, what is this, pine, and sun and weather effects. It's a beautiful little thing. Now this is your starter cabin, and there's a lot of mechanics in this game that some of them are hidden and some are not. One of them is like fire starting. There's also water. You have your meters up here on the right, so you can see that it says your temperature, which is 36.3, which is fine. And you can see that you can actually get too hot or too cold, which is an interesting mechanic. A lot of games don't have that. You can get too cold usually in winter survival games. But getting too hot or overheated is a whole other thing. And what that does basically will impact your hydration and hunger meters. And if they go too low, you basically start dying. So that's basically what that does. And now there's a lot of things you can do here. Here's a jacket. You can just take it, and if that happens, it goes to your you can just put it on here, but you can also put it in your backpack if you want to. The inventory follows the sort of taco style system where everything is stackable or like sorted in like a Tetris style thing, and it's a little bit tricky to navigate. It's one of the criticisms that has been received, but it's intentional, and we'll talk a bit more about that later. Now the game nicely points out a few things for you. So here's a match. This is how to start fire, which is nice. You can inspect it if you like. Dry. If these get wet, they won't work, which is a nice little detail. It doesn't work if they're wet. So we take that, and that now becomes quick slot number 1. Click 5 to holster. Compass, very nice to have. It tells you direction. There's a thing about this game. It won't tell you where you are, only what direction, you're facing. How did that happen? I clicked H. Oh yeah, intuitively for me, the button H is holster, right? But H is actually the help menu, as you can see. 5 is holster. 5 is holster. Okay. Now it is. Right. This is the maps. This is the randomly generated map that you're in. And it says there that you're here, right, at the bottom, top left. And look, they've attached a compass this time. This is an improvement. This is something players complained about in the earlier versions, that before you had the map and then you had to get a compass out, and then you'd be like, okay, so it's east. Let me see, which way is east? Okay, and then you gotta look at the map again, but now it's attached to it, which is a nice little feature. In fact, it's such a nice feature, you don't actually have to have the compass quick attached. You can just have it here. And then I like having this as number 1. Does it still attach it? No, it doesn't. That's an interesting detail, isn't it? You actually have to have it like this. And now it is there. Okay. And these black dots here on the map are cabins. Well, actually, I think they're actually events, but I think they're meant to be cabins. And as you can see, there's only really, 6 cabins on this map? But in reality, there's actually about 400 cabins on this map. And they're all randomly generated. There's certain different types to be found. Over time, they'll be expanded and you get different types of, cabin biomes, I guess you could say. You can find maps around the world that will reveal other cabin locations. But you mostly have to find them by yourself. That's the thing. The game will not tell you where you are, except for this cabin. It says where you are right now. Other than that, it doesn't tell you where you are. It won't track you or show on the map where you are. So you have to figure it out yourself. You have to go out here and figure out where to go and where you are, which is a whole interesting experience, isn't it? So it's basically like orienteering. However, when you die, or when you reach the weather tower in story mode, or both, it will tell you where you have moved around, so you can see your progress. So it's like a little report, which is nice. Now there's a few other things. So here you have a flashlight, which is nice. You can use to light around. You also have this lantern, but sounds like we got a storm coming. You also have the lantern, but you don't really need the lantern if you have the flashlight. Right. So it's kind of the same thing. Right. Sounds like a storm is coming. That is massive. I gotta be honest and say that this is the first time I'm properly playing this game for a few months. Because I'm on the playtesters, I'm in a special room that tells you all the updates. So I've been following along what's going on, but I haven't actually played the game for a little while. There's also things like here you have a cassette player, so you can actually get cassettes and put it in and listen to music, which is nice. Or the radio, which tells you about the weather. Like something fell on the roof. And here we have our cooking pot. Gosh. Is something falling on the roof or something? Sounds like it is. Oh yeah. Really big noises. I think it's just rain hitting the little branches or something. Oh, I'm in mud. If you're in mud, you start, you know, you can drink the muddy water, but it's not very good for you, but it's an option. One little detail that's nice here is that you can actually refill your water bottle outside in the rain. The water bottle I'm talking about is here. So this, if you take this one, this is your water bottle. If you drink this, you actually keep the bottle, which is nice. And you can refill it in the river, or if you can put it outside in the rain. Basically anything that can contain water will. Here's some food. Now notice that these take quite a bit of space. If I take this, the chips, or I can't take the chips. See, they take quite a bit of space. What you could do is you can actually cook this stuff. So for example, the sweet corn, 192 calories. What you could do is here, here's a cooking pot, right? By the way, you can do this. Oops, sorry. Oh, come on. The knobs. You can turn on other ones like this. Isn't that neat? And then you can dry wood on there, for example. Now here, you can open the pot. This is boiling. So if you instead put this in here, in the cooking pot. I gotta rotate it like this. It now makes this. Okay, thinks storm is coming. Which takes less space, but has the same amount of calories as both of them combined, see? You're basically cooking this stuff into a larger pot, which you can now take. Which is very, very nice, isn't it? And now it's a bit easy to carry this stuff around. Isn't that neat? Very cool. I'm not going to take the cooking pot with me. It's a bit too big for that. And it's really brewing to be a storm out there, which is interesting. Here you get a first look at what I'm talking about, the inventory system. You're kind of moving stuff around, which is a little clunky. But that's just how it is. Chips. I mean, yeah, the storm is starting. There is a day-night cycle here. It doesn't tell you the time, but there is a day-night cycle. So right now it looks like it's getting darker. There isn't a sleeping mechanic. They might add that to the game, maybe, but there isn't one right now. So this cabin doesn't have a bed. But even if it did have a bed, there isn't anything you can do with the bed. There's no sleep yet. It's a bit like Subnautica. In Subnautica, you don't sleep. Okay, let's look around for a bit some more. So you can open pretty much everything in this game, and you can see what's inside. And a lot of times they will be empty. The post-it note fell in. The object interaction is interesting, isn't it? Anything else in here? Doesn't look like it. What about in here? You got books. You can burn the books if you want. Doesn't seem to be much in here. I think the starter cabin deliberately is like that. Okay. And here are fuses. Now here's the thing. When you get to other places... Oh, what's this? This is a hammer? Hammer can be handy to take. Take it on the arm. Because you can use to repair windows that are broken. So for example, now a storm is coming. If I take... Let's see, let's drop the hammer. And let's have a look at inventory for a moment. Let's eat chips. Why not? And let's just reorganize this a little bit. This is where it gets clunky. Take that and let's replace it with this. Let's drop this lantern. You can actually now pick up these planks under your arm. And then you can actually repair things. I see this window's broken. You can repair it. A little clunky. But you get the idea. It's kind of like 2 hits. You'll see, now you boarded up the window. Isn't that nice? And now it's basically safer to do that. Let's see. We want to do the same. These ones can close, so I guess that's alright. Here, for example. I think the storm might be passing. These windows are broken. Well, some of them are broken anyway. So you can start boarding them up. As I said, it's a little clunky. It's not extremely fluid. But you get the idea, right? So you can do this, and now basically you're stormproofing your cabin. You can just do this on one window. Some of them seem to be on the inside, some on the outside, I guess. It's a little bit... Get one more for the bottom one there. There isn't a sprint. So you're kind of auto-sprinting, I guess. You can click shift to walk. Or toggle walking, I guess it is. Yeah, that's it. As you can see, it's a little bit... it needs to be ironed out a little bit. There you go. See, now we have boarded up our window. So now it's basically more protected against the wind. And in fact, you'll see if a storm hits, it will crash and blow out these windows. It's pretty crazy. Okay. Now, in terms of a fire, one thing that's really cool about this game is that it has very different fire starting mechanics. You don't have crafting or anything. Instead, you have using fire starting tools like matches, and you have to actually build your fire. So here's one of them. Here's one that's already lit, and what you can do is you can light the tinder. Didn't work. Are these matches wet by chance? They are damp. Won't work when wet. Oh, why did they get wet though? Because I guess they're not in my backpack, I suppose. Weird. We gotta... Can I... What? Okay, stupid question. Now let's see what happens. What if I place them here? That was a great idea. They're still damp. Now they're dry. Can I take them? No. Can I turn this off? Can I take them back? I guess they're ruined. Yeah. That's too good. Okay. I'm glad that they thought of that, because it would be silly if I could dry the matches next to a fire and then just use them. Okay, so that puts us in an interesting position where we don't actually have matches. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so what we're going to do now then. We don't have matches, so I might as well pick up this storm lantern again then. And you can actually take the fuses with you if you want. Because you can use them in the next cabin, provided they have fuses. So if you take a fuse, you got a couple of fuses with you. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're actually going to leave, because we can't sleep anyway. Here's the old map, and there's a cabin. Those is kind of like northeast of here, so maybe we should just go there. Grassland is there. That's nice. Grassland is nice. Let's head there. Now, again, there's more cabins than you think, so we'll probably find something anyway. Let's just go and see what we can find. Okay. Let's use just this lantern. Yeah. How much light does it provide? So we want to go east, which was up that way. It's this way. Okay. Let's go. I feel like this probably provides way more light. Yeah. This doesn't really do anything. Feel. This is on. It is, yeah. That's an interesting detail, isn't it? This is more spooky though. And there's a lot of sound design. It's actually really spooky. It's very Blair Witchy. All these noises around. Look at the lantern reflecting everything also. Look how I place this. Right, that wasn't quite what I intended, but okay. Let's place it like here. Okay, let's try this again. I'm trying to click R. To hold R, I guess. Put it somewhere like somewhat flat. It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't provide too much light. Let's check the map. We're going northeast. Okay. But I feel like this doesn't do that much in terms of lighting. But it's spooky though. Let's turn it off. This gives a bit more directional light. Now, you are alone in the world, okay? There are no animals. There's no predators. There's no humans. So as creepy as it sounds, you won't find anyone here. But the ambience is quite creepy. It's quite unsettling. And it's easy to get turned around. Oh. Just clicked recharge. I think that means I'm whacking it. I'm not sure what recharging a flashlight actually means in this sec. Does it mean that I'm shaking it? I guess so. Creepy though. Reminds me of Slender Man. We got some rock formations over here. Now we're getting wet because it's raining. Okay, this is a drawback of this thing, I guess. And there's stuff you can pick up, like rocks and sticks and stuff. Alright, let's turn this off. Get this back on. It is a storm lantern after all. It's meant to be more sturdy. There's some rock formations so we can hide in. It's interesting now because now I don't have matches anymore. This is much harder. Oh, just approach it and... Ow. I don't know what happened there exactly. Alright, let's see where we are. We're still heading the right way, which is good. But I don't have a frame of reference for how far away I am. Because this map is huge. It's 8 times 8 kilometers. So it's 64 square kilometers. Nice flowers. So it's a very large map. And the past version of this game, you could actually survive by just pretty much just eating mushrooms all the time. Can I get out of here, please? Creepy. Really big rock formations, these ones. I'd like to get out of here. Alright, we found the grassland, I guess. I guess that's what this is. Starting to get a little cold. And you're auto-running, so there's no sprinting. They used to have a sprint, but... Me going, oh, we don't really need a storm lantern, but yeah, here we are. Really nice sound design in this game. Of course, now that it's dark, I can't really see cabins really well. PlayerUnknown himself told me that, yeah, he was passing cabins like ships in the night, right? You can't see them really well. You have to wait for daylight. It reflects all the way down there. Isn't that weird? See that? All the way down there, you can see the storm lantern reflected. That happened this way too? No, it's just like this. A bit weird. Cool though. I'm not really looking around because there is stuff on the floor, like sticks and things. But yeah. So initially this game was actually promoted to be the hardest survival game ever made, but that was a coincidence. It was more that when PlayerUnknown said he was going to make this, there was some interviews and articles about him that basically said that he was making the hardest game, survival game there was. But then his reaction was like, "Oh, am I doing that?" The best way to describe this game, I have interviewed PlayerUnknown twice. The second one isn't out yet as of this video, but the best way to describe the game is simulated realism. In the sense that they aim to be realistic, but within reason, right? It's a gamification of realism is what it is. So things like wet matches is a thing, you know, that sort of stuff. Okay, so let me have a look at the map. So the cabin, oh, it's really hard to see. I think we're close to the cabin. We're cold. I don't have matches though, so, you know, there's that. I'm surprised the matches go wet. I guess they have to be in the inventory for that to not happen, I guess. I'm starting to get cold also. This is why I shouldn't have gone out. But that's the fun part of going out and explore and then have an adventure. And then if I die, I can see where the cabins were that I walked past. There should be a cabin around here somewhere. Because we are in the grassland now. I'm tempted to go just into the forest. Ow. Did a barrel roll. No, it's not a barrel roll, you know what I mean. Nice reflection of light on these things. Okay, I think the sun's going to come up soon. I want to head a little bit up here in the hills. See what I can find. Any cabins around here? Any kind of shelter? Would be nice. See what you can find. Still looking for anywhere really. I gotta say, the Stoneland actually did come kind of in handy, didn't it? Much better than the flashlight. More rocks. Don't like these rocks. Well, in the dark I don't like these rocks. I'll get too involved in them. It is creepy, huh? Looking around the forest at night. All you see is your reflection here. What's that? There are also random locations to be found here and there, like old cars and that sort of stuff. Is this blinking? Oh, it's because I'm shaking. I'm shaking, that's why. That's why it's blinking. Isn't that neat? It's pretty cool. I'm getting very cold now. Probably gonna die soon, actually, if I don't find any shelter. Because I don't have anywhere to take refuge here. Don't have any fire starting tools or anything. So here's a tip number 1. Don't go out at night when it's raining and you don't have fire. There's a pro tip for you. And you don't know the map. That's randomly generated. Oh, let's just keep looking. The temperature is a big issue, actually. We're really just looking for any kind of shelter here, but I can't see anything. Starting to get cold. You see how the color's changing? Color's changing. That's because I'm dying of cold. So now it starts getting black and white. Now I'm just trying to find any kind of shelter, but the sun's coming up, but I can't see any cabins. And even if I did, it might be too late now. This is the fun new experience though, that you don't know where you're going. And in the night especially, it's really hard. I'm surprised I didn't find that cabin by the grassland though. By all means, I could have been going in circles here. Yeah, now I'm getting very cold. I think I'm about to die here. That's why the sound is getting messed up. Getting black and white, and there I died. Hypothermia. Okay, so I actually don't mind that I died, because then I can show you the mechanics involved here. Okay, so let's see here. So you burned so many calories, right? It shows how much your hydration level was, body temperature, environment temperature, all this stuff. Distance to close shelf 80 meters, so I actually was kind of close then. All right, so and it gives you all the statistics, but what you want to see here is you want to click on this map that basically tells you what happened to you geographically. So here we are. So this is the map, and this is how I was walking, as you can see. Now it should show, and it doesn't actually this time, which is a bit weird. Oh, this is a bit, oh god, okay. Yeah. Bear in mind this is a dev build, you know. It's supposed to show all the cabins, not just these ones. I'm not sure why it's not. That's a little disappointing, but I'm sure they'll fix that. Because the one that I was shown, I tried this earlier and it did work. It showed you all the cabins. I guess it probably bugged out a little bit. It is early access for a reason. These things will be ironed out, but it will show you all the cabins. You might remember that there was a cabin around there, so I must have just missed it. But then also 80 meters, so there was a cabin somewhere around here too. But I like that it shows you where you go. So this is where I gave up and tried going this way. So it's a nice little feature. It has the weather tower down here, river. So yeah, it's a little crude still, but you get the idea. Okay, very cool. We're gonna do this one more time. Let's do this again, and we could go the story mode, but it takes a little while to get that far. But the story mode is the same as survival mode. Maybe we could just do that for the sake of illustration. So the Wayback mode is basically the same thing as survival mode, except that you have a goal, which is to get to the weather station. And you can choose in the beginning to say, for the map to tell you where the weather station is, and you can go there. But you don't really need to, because you should be able to see it at some point. It should be basically across the map from where you are. So it will be somewhere quite far away, basically across the entire map. That's basically what's going to happen. So you don't, but if you find it difficult, you can turn that feature on. Okay, now the starting cabin will be exactly the same, and there won't be any difference there. But yeah. So the first attempt that you saw me do is a great example of how not to play it, right? I had no matches, but that's why I wanted the challenge. But you know, you have no fire starting. You go out in the rain, in the dark, no idea where anything is. Yeah, that's a recipe for death, as you could see. Yeah, if you go out in the daytime, though, it's a lot easier because then you can see where the cabins are. Surviving without the cabins is hard. As you can see, there's a lot of systems in place there. A lot of things happening. All right. There's also a seed, as you might have seen at the top, ML seed. So you can actually take that seed and type it into launch, and you will get this exact same map on your run. The cabin distribution might be different, but other than that, it's the same. Okay, so we're going to get to the tower. Look at this telescope looking straight into the rocks. Good placement of telescope. Very nice. What is it this way? All right. One feature that I hope happens is snow. When snow happens, it's very cool because it covers the whole ground in snow. All right, so this is basically the exact same thing. So we're going to take the map. See, now once you get to the weather tower, it doesn't tell you where it is unless you ask for that, but it will be somewhere northeast of here, basically. So we can do that. I'm not sure I'm actually going to complete that and do that today, but just to get the idea of how this works, really. New to this build is that there is a save function. So if you exit the game, it will actually save. Saving was kind of complicated because of the way that the randomly generated maps were made and all this stuff. So little tricky to do. Okay, fire starting. I don't need a post-it note, thanks. I don't need that. I'm gonna keep the matches in my bag this time. Got this stuff. You can take the post-it note with you to light the fire, of course. I'm gonna take some tinder with me. These are basically tinder. Oh, we don't need a stick. Drop the stick. But the tinder we'll take with us. The backpack is a little small, but you get the idea. Gotta rotate. Wait. There. Okay. Right. Let's holster. Oops. I'm so used to clicking H for holster. Maybe you can change that. it doesn't work to holster that for some reason. You got your own shadow, by the way. Yeah, that's Lucy. There's Lucy as well. Lucy's feet. Hi, Lucy. Alright, let's do the same thing. I wanna just cook this stuff. So it takes less space. And we got some food to carry around. Let's do that. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but that's what I'm doing. This is what's on the ground. It's not working exactly as intended yet, because it doesn't show you items that are nearby. It only shows what you put on the ground. So it's a little bit different. But you get the idea. Okay. Then there was a jacket somewhere. There's a jacket. Compass, of course. Like that. Doesn't fit. Unless there's a surprise. Oh, this. Let's drop that and pick up the compass now. Okay. There we go. So now we have this. And what we want to do is go northeast, pretty much. So that's this way. Into the wall, basically. Let's do this again. Now I have fire starting, and I have some tinder. I have all sorts of stuff. It's possible to find bigger backpacks as well. Let's have another little exploration. Wow. Big rock formations. We're not going to take the hammer with us. Too heavy. Outhouse. In case you need to go. You gotta go, you gotta go. And, you know, again, this is an early build, so there will be, you know, issues. But this is Old Man's Beard, which you can... One long dog, you can make bandages with this. I'm not sure. I think here it's tinder. I think that's tinder. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's tinder. Normally, they wouldn't be floating like ghosts. They would be on trees. Like, you know, this one here. This one. I brought tinder with me, though. And here you can see, in this particular case, there's another cabin right there. Isn't that nice? And this is randomly generated. We have about 400 cabins around the world, but sometimes they'll be right next to you. Sometimes they won't be. There is a cheat mode you can use for content creation and testing stuff out, and then you can fly around and see where all the cabins are. You can go in here and you can check what's in this cabin. Oh, some food. What you can do is, if you don't have space for this stuff, you can just hold it and it'll eat it. And then your calorie intake goes up. And, you know, because you're not going to be able to bring all this stuff. Oh, gloves. Hat. Gloves. I can see I don't have undershirt or underpants. Well, now I'm good. Very nice. A lot of food. There's quite a lot of loot, as you can see. Quite a lot of loot here. A lot of food. Oh, that's a big jug. If I drink that, will it disappear? It does not disappear. How big is this for my inventory? Like if I drop something on the ground, for example that. What is that? What is that? That is not what I just... Did it break? No. Okay. It just looks like that, I suppose. That's weird. Okay, so this is a big one. 2.5 liters. Can I pour this in there? Shame. That would have been good. Okay, I would love to take this, but it just takes too much space. We're going to pick up the broken bottle things, whatever that is. Let's look around for what we really want, loot-wise. Drink more drinks. Quite a lot of stuff in these cabins, as you can see. What we really want is the bigger backpack. That's what we really want. Toilet. If we had brought the fuses, we could have installed them here. But we didn't. There's a bed, but we can't sleep in the bed. They haven't added that feature, if they are going to add it at all. There's some fuses. There's a missing fuse there. What we can do, we can take these fuses with us. Okay, well, could take some fuses with us. Let's just do this. Let me have it for next time. Oh, look at all this stuff. There's a cooking pot in here. Fine. Oh, okay. I guess I just slid through the wall there. Okay. That's a cooking pot. That's nice. It's a fuse. What's that? Light bulb. Radio. Oh, you can listen to the weather with that. That's just kind of cool. But you don't have space, as you can see. Space is a bit of an issue in this game. Climb up here. Anything has another bed. Again, you can't sleep in it. Boom. Alright, let's just keep going. What is that? So, distillery, water storage barrel. So this is mud. The mud that also has water, which you can drink. It's not really recommended, but you can do it. But it slows you down. I really hate that. I mean, it's realistic. I just really hate it. This is new. I haven't seen this before. Ah. What's this? It's a damaged insulated jacket. Insulation -4. It's damaged. Condition 100%. What do I have? This one? Yeah, so it's not worth taking it then. What's this? Underpants. We don't have underpants. We can put that on, I think. What's this? Hey, more matches. We should take that for sure. But it will let me take. Come on, I want the matches. Why won't you let me? I know it's. Okay, hold on. Gotta do this the weird way. Come on. I want the matches. Come on. Okay, well, it won't let me take it, so that's a bit stupid. PlayerUnknown, if you're watching, let me take the matches. He probably is watching, actually. Is it this way? Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Because I was facing the rock, so it's this way. Jump around. Jump around. Aha! You can bunny hop across the mud. Okay, up we go. And down we go. Notice that you can actually see Lucy, what she's wearing. She got the gloves on that I picked up, so that's kind of cool. There's a lot of little details in this game. Like consistencies with like things getting wet or damp or cold and so on. There's all sorts of hidden mechanics, and it's only going to get better. You can light a fire. You know, in the open by picking up sticks and lichen for tinder. You can light anything on fire as long as it's burnable if you take enough effort. But you need a fire starting kit. So in the earlier versions of this game, you actually spawn with the fire starting kit, and then you can pick up stuff like this. It has a bunch of sticks, right? And you just spam it with the fire starting, and it would actually catch fire. But they have removed that. You now spawn with matches instead, which is fine, of course. Check the direction. Yeah. I'm so used to holding shift to sprint. If you sprint and crouch, you go in the slide mode. But they removed that. So, but I believe the fire starting kit is still in the game, but it will spawn in a cabin. You just gotta find it. Now, just be aware there will be bugs in this. Now, I'm playing on the dev build, the Pathfinder build, but the finished version to release early access will also be buggy. There will be things that aren't working as intended, or things to be ironed out, and so on and so forth. That being said, though, the developers are great because they do listen to community. They're not going to take every feedback into account, but they do listen. And they do want to build a player experience that people enjoy. So if there's things in the game that people find really frustrating, then they will probably change it. If there's something that they want added that they really like, they will add it, and so on. So that's cool. What's all this? Damaged underpants, damaged sweater. This is what? Damaged underpants. Yeah, okay, well, what's this? What's that? Soda bottle. Oh, it's through here. That's why. Right. That's okay. Well, we can drink it. I mean, Get the hydration up. Why not? A little bit tricky to... Maybe we should light the table on fire. Maybe just eat this. Another soda bottle there. I think it is. Oh, I can't really get to it. We don't get the bottle though. Unlike the water bottle. If you drink the water, you get the water bottle. I don't seem to get the actual bottle itself. It's a shame. More bottles. A bit bugged, but, you know. Food. A lot of food in these cabins, I must say. Mugs. Tinder. But yeah, let me just show you. So if I want to take, say, this tinder. And all these sticks and that. Not that one, but okay. And then I can place it. Yeah. Not that. I can place some tinder here. Right. What I now need are matches. Are they dry? They are dry. Put them here, I guess. And I can light a match and try and light a fire. And there you go. Now you have a fire. Isn't that neat? And now that's going to warm me up. And let's see if this cabin has some more wood outside. Which it does. So we can take this wood. And now we can build a proper fire. Because this is little sticks and stuff. That's not going to burn very long. But if we can build proper fire here. Then, you know, that's going to burn for much longer. You can try picking up, but it's not really going to work. That's how that works. It just needs to make sure these things actually do catch fire. Pick this up. Can I please pick this up? Yeah. Put that on top here too, so that burns. It is possible to light a fire next to furniture and watch the furniture catch fire as well. It's getting dark now. Do I want to go back out? I don't know. Any more wood around here? Yeah, planks you can do. What's up here? Up we go. Another bed. Because here now the fire's burning. I'm starting to get too hot, if anything. Oh, that gave me food poisoning. That's great. Yummy. I don't know if there's a cure for that. I think you just have to wait it out. I'm not sure about that, if I'm completely honest. What's this? Tin of canned food. Keep that. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Okay. Well. At least we're warm, which is nice. So which way are we going? We're going that way. It's getting dark, but I could maybe just go. Still some light. This way. Do it. Don't really want to stay indoors the whole time. Can't quite see the weather tower, but it must be somewhere this way. Make sure I put matches back in here so I don't get wet in case it rains. Assuming that's how that works. This terrain doesn't look very forgiving, but... Oh. Well, it kind of worked out. That's cool. I don't know if this is intended or not. But it's kind of cool you can go here. I was really high up, wasn't I? Parkour. Ow. Survived. Goating here is much harder than in other games, it seems. Can be done though. Feel like I wasn't supposed to go here. Like, how do I get out of here? I guess it's this way. Let's see if we can find another cabin. I have a fire starting now, so I can light a fire if I'm stuck out there in the open. Yeah, we can just get through this weird terrain that we got here. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's starting to get quite dark now. The sun is still up over there. It's just I'm really far down into a valley. Like really far into a valley. I'm not too bothered about which direction I'm going right now. I'm just trying to find something. Let's go up. And you can also see the silhouette of a cabin if you go up. Definitely losing hunger pretty fast with these food poisoning. Let's see, we got anything up here? Any cabins on the horizon? Silhouette? No? Looks like we are stuck in darkness once again. We could try and go back, but yeah. We'll move around. It shows you how dangerous it is to go out at night, to be honest. Because now, like, where the heck do we go, right? I don't know. The map only helps so far. The map will only help in the sense that you gotta know where you are to begin with. Let's just look around. High ground is probably the best. I think that's something over there. Might be rocks. It gives me the heebie-jeebies, the sound design though. It's really creepy. And you should see, when there's a blizzard, or like really strong winds, whoa, it really sounds like someone's following you around. It's really creepy. If this was a horror game, I don't think I would go out at night like at all. It's just too creepy. What I might do is I might start picking up some sticks to have under my arm. So that if I have to, if I start getting cold, I can make a fire with this stuff. I have the fire starting means. That makes sense. At the moment I'm doing okay, except that I'm poisoned. I assume that will go away by itself. If not, I have to find medicine for it, but... there's mushrooms around you can eat. That's a great idea, isn't it? Oh, I'm food poisoned. You know, let's just eat some random mushrooms. I'm sure that will work out, you know. Okay, which direction am I moving here? Let me see. Oh, I'm not going northeast. That's good. We can start the rain, didn't it? Hello? It is raining, yeah. What's my matches like? Dry. Good. I guess when they're in your quick slot, they're kind of like holds it in your hand or your pockets so they get wet or something. Let's see if they stay dry now. It's kind of fun to be out at night, though, I gotta be honest, because you have no idea what you're gonna stumble into. There's a really great quote, I don't remember verbatim, from the director of The Long Dark, Raphael van Leeuwen. So he talked about basically player-driven narratives. So you have the authored narrative, which is the story of a game. But then you have player narratives, which is when the player just does whatever they want in the world you built. And he said that if you set the world up just right, the player will make its own story, or their own story in the world that you have made. You will stumble through a blizzard and at the last minute find a hope through a cabin in the woods. And what he said was, this is the quote, he said, "We have no control over these events other than the fact that we want them to happen." What he said. Look at that reflection, by the way. Shines all the way down there. Weird. But yeah. These are not scripted events. We have no control over them happening, except that we want them to happen. And this is kind of the same thing. Okay, food poisoning is cured. I've outlasted it. Hurrah for me. I'm also still warm, so actually this is okay. I'm actually doing quite well now. This is kind of the same thing, because the map is randomly generated. You don't know where the cabins are. There are some on the map. So you can find some of them. But the rest are to be discovered. And you don't really know what you're walking into. Now you could take this seed that's listed in the top right and remember it, write it down, and then reinsert it into your next game so you always get the same map. Now when I did that, they still randomized the loot in the cabins, but the terrain is exactly the same. So you could do that and then learn the map, but that would be one map out of 2.4 billion maps. You know what I mean? You could do it, it's just, maybe, is it worth doing that? Now, owls are out. I'm Norwegian, I can't pronounce sometimes. So this is an interesting place. Formation, can I squeeze? No. This is a good viewpoint. If I could see. Oh, look at this. This is nice. Let's see if we can get to the edge of this. Without dying, that is. Does this thing have fuel? I guess not. It's fine. Oh, it's fine if it doesn't. I want to get to the edge of this if I can. I want to see. Alright, so a powerful storm lantern is shining on these rocks all the way over there. I think the sun's coming up. Let's holster this thing. Wait, if I holster it, is it still on? Yeah, I guess so. Turn off then. Okay, we can kind of see now. Let's just eat something. Let's eat one of these big things we got here. I don't know, actually let's eat both. There's so much space anyway. And yeah, drink this also. You can fill it back up. Actually, it's filling up itself. I guess from the rain, which is neat, but it's doing it in the inventory. I don't think that's intended. I think it's meant to be outside the inventory. Anyway, directions. So northeast, it's this way. Let's have a look at the terrain. If that's a cliff there, and that's exactly northeast, I'm guessing I am... what am I looking at there? Cliff, Starway. I guess I can sort of assume where I am. Sort of like near the edge, like, of this, like, rock formation. I wish I could point for you. That's a feature they might do. They might add, like, a pen, so you can draw on the map, which makes it easy to explain where you are as well to the viewer. I think I'm not far from that cabin that's kind of like in the valley down there. Is the river here? I think the river is here. Be careful. There, see there? There's the cabin right there. I think that cabin might be this cabin that's kind of like in the valley. Or the river sort of twists and turns. I think that might be what that is. But we don't need to go there for that though. Sun is up, we can just continue. If you can find a safe path down from here, that is. Kind of a strange place to be. Slippery, come on. Not slippery, but come on. Okay, that was a nice little adventure. Let's continue. As you can see, the map is so big that I walked or ran quite a while now, but still have a while to go. This terrain is pretty unforgiving, though. How am I supposed to get down there, you know? Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to go down this way. Might be possible, but why risk it? I think we should just go around. Ow. You go, Lucy. I'm getting colder, but that's okay. There is stuff to eat in the wild as well. Primarily mushrooms. So you can keep an eye out for that too. I haven't really been looking for it, if I'm honest. I think we don't really need this, to be honest. Holster. Another thing is I'm also used to is you click the same button and holster, so I'm very used to clicking H to holster things. And also if I click 2 to bring this up, oh cabin, if I click 2 again, it should holster it, but it doesn't. Okay, in here we go. Alright, we made it to a nice, safe location. Let's actually just put this stuff away. We need to carry this around. Actually, these are damp. They're soaked, actually. Oh, well, in that case, let's pick these back up. What we can do is... Alright, flashlight. Let's repair this stuff. We're going to dry it on here. No, more or less anyway. Supposedly you can do. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. So let's see. I brought some fuses, didn't I? So let's grab a fuse. You have to do like this, which is a little bit clunky. Now you place this with R. I want to place it in there, if it will let me do that. Which it's not letting me do. Can I please just, like, place that there, please? I had this issue last time, too. There we are. Thank you. Right, holes to that. And now, turn that on. The generator. Generator also you want to turn on. And now it's on. And now, lights are on. We can also turn these on. Okay. Soaked. What's that? Oops. A Norway spruce branch. A Norway one. Oh, like that. I'm Norwegian, so I approve of this. This should actually dry these things, which is neat. I don't think you can pick up like a lit branch or anything like that, which is a shame. That would have been fun to do. It's still soaked, but let's just see if this works. I was told that this works. There are 2 flashlights here. One over there, one there. And I'm guessing there's a bunch of food in here as well. It's the same layout as the other cabin. Not much food, okay. There we are. Is that beer? Oh, old soda can. Calories 0. Spoiled can of food. Ah, so maybe not eat that then. Same as this, right? Old kill, spoiled can. Maybe we shouldn't eat spoiled stuff. Right? This one is not spoiled. What's this? Jeans? Basic pants. Are they better than what we got now? About the same. What happened there? Soaked. Oh. What are these ones? Well, they're supposed to dry on this thing. Ah, that's cool. So the pants fell out. Okay. Nice. What's this? Hat? It is a hat. Basic hat. That's funny. Okay. What else we got? We got some food up here, right? That's food. Looks okay. Spam. Let's eat that. Basically full bellies. And this, I think, pretty much filled itself up while we're out in the rain, which is neat, but I don't think that's intended. Is it still raining out there? Is it raining? I don't think so. I guess you can check by doing this. It's not raining. It's an interesting feature, though. Is it still soaked? I thought the whole point was to dry it this way. I've been lied to. Told by a very VIP source that you could do this. But maybe I misunderstood. It would have been cool, though, if that worked. I'm soaked as well. All this spoiled food, huh? All this is spoiled. No wonder I got food poisoning last time. Oh. Maybe you can cook it to unspoil it? I don't know. Let's make a fire, though. So we're kind of cold. I think we should make a fire. So let's grab a couple of these tinders. Place them. Oops. Place them here. And did I pick one up? I did. Let's just pick up these branches. Again, I have a tendency to pick up the bucket, as you can see. And then we can also grab some these logs. Place them on here. Slide, apparently, I guess. Okay. Alright, now... Okay, well, whatever. And let's get the match. The matches are damp. Great. So that still happens in there, I suppose, then. Okay, well, that sucks. What about these things? They're still soaked. I thought the whole point was that they would warm up in there. Is there any pot around here or something like that I can use? No. But it's sunlight. Okay, here's the thing. Can I put the matches to dry? In the sun, that is. Guess not. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. They caught on fire. It's wet. Can I take it? No. Well, at least we have a fire going here. Kind of. That's interesting. Well, that's something, I suppose. Right, what else do we do? Matches. How are they looking? Still damp. But maybe I can dry it myself, though, because if you look at my character, I'm pretty damp on all of this stuff. Soaked, yeah. I really would need a fire, but my matches are damp. How can you make the matches not damp, though? It'd be nice if you could put it in some sort of plastic or something. That would be nice. Okay, well, let's just see. Can you shake? Look at this water dripping off you. Take off the water. I'm getting quite cold, actually, which is a problem. Okay, I have a suggestion here. That's what we're going to do. So right, we're going to take these off. Isn't really working anyway. 3 flashlights. Let's take that. Place that there. Okay. We're going to drop these. Yeah. Let's put this other stuff here. Sticks, the regular sticks and all that stuff. Make a fire on here instead. Okay. I hate this thing. Come on. Need to deactivate running. That's what this issue. Okay. Place all of this on here. This isn't unsafe at all, right? Making a fire on top of the stove? That's fine. No problem. Now is our temperature going up? It is. Now if I now take these, they're soaked, but who cares? We're just going to put it on top here. It's getting dark again? What does this mean? At least I'm warming up, right? How about the clothes and that? Okay, this is drying, which is nice. It's drying pretty fast, which is good. What about these things? They're not really... I can't really tell if they are drying or not. Like, how can I don't want to put them next to the thing, because that will just mess things up again. But these things are drying, as you can see. Wet. Yeah, which is perfect. Let's actually find some more wood, maybe. Actually, I don't know, maybe we don't need to do that, because there's quite a lot of wood here. We can also light these on fire if we want to. You can do like this. Not the smoothest thing, but you could do this. Am I a maniac or something? You gotta do what you need to survive, right? I don't think it's getting dark, it's just the light is making it seem dark. Yeah. We're getting nice and warm, which is what matters. I could use some more drink, would have been nice. Well, this works. We're no longer freezing. We're no longer dripping of water. And our clothes are getting dry, right? Is it dry? It's damp, but it's getting there. Backpack is... Right, the backpack is wet. No wonder then that this is getting... Oh, the matchbook is dry! It works. I'm glad I brought those fuses. So this actually worked out. This worked out completely. Really, really worked. What if I turn off this? What happens? It's still burning, right? So it shouldn't really matter that, that this is off now. Because the fire's burning. Take a couple of fuses with me. Alright, so this is working, and now I'm getting too hot, if anything. I think that means it's time to go. Where are we? North. East is that way. It's raining. Tell you what, before we go then, why don't we put this water bottle out here? Yeah, we're going to drop it. Also place it here. That will now... Yeah, that fills up with water. Perfect. Now I'm getting wet also. I didn't see any other... Oh, this, for example, right? This bucket. It would be nice if I could just place this here, and now it fills up with water, but it can't. It's only things that can contain water that also actually does contain water. How's my character? Oops, how's my character looking here? Damp, yeah, are these damp? No, not yet, but they will be. Kind of thinking of filling up the water before I go out there. I don't have much water. I have food, but not water. A lot of spoiled food too. Like storm is coming again. This is a neat little trick though, isn't it? Kind of cool. I think I want to go soon before it gets too dark. Let's just drink that and we'll take it. And we're not... This is about to die out anyway, so let's just go. We can stay here the next day, but we don't have much water. We do have some though, we can just drink from... But I just want to see if I can find another cabin somewhere before it gets too dark. I might be able to make my way back to this one. That was an interesting little trick, wasn't it? Putting it on the stove. So I wasn't lied to. Okay, let's see if we can find another cabin. Or something. I was holding shift. Sorry. Again, we can do this. Pick up these sticks just to have something. There are cabins all over the place. You just gotta find them. There's something over there, I think. There's a cabin right there, yeah. Now this is what I saw. I saw this little outhouse thing, but there's a cabin right there. What is this? Getting dark now. Alright. Insulated sweater. I think it's better than what I got now, right? Yeah, it is. There's the pot, actually. If you take this, let's drop this. There's a lot of wood everywhere anyway, but let's just put this over here. In case I need to do anything. Just put this on the floor. It's just soaked, so. But I want to go back and grab this pot. Because you can, I think you can put the pot outside in the rain and it fills with water, I think. See if that's true. Interesting place to find a pot, but okay. Oh, a load of stuff here. What's this? A radio. Why can't I take that? Oh, because of the fuse. Take it in. Cool. I don't know about you. Cool stuff. Alright, but what I want to do is holster it. Come on. I'm going to take this under my arm. Might as well take these ones too. What's this? Hand crank flashlight. Okay. Well, that's why it's hand crank. You reload it by cranking it, I see. Okay, so what we got in here then? With this cabin. A lot of light. Yeah, that's what I wanted to... Just drop this stuff here. I put this out here. It should, I think, be able to hold water, because you can put water in it, right? Maybe not. We can leave it out and see what happens. My other bottle of water is filling up, isn't it? Oh, did it stop raining? Stopped raining. Okay, well, never mind. We'll see. Okay. How's my backpack? And that. That's just... I'll dry. That's good. Let's just drop the radio. If I need to make a fire, I can do that. What we got here? Damaged insulated pants. We got some food. Another radio. All sorts of stuff here. Oh, what's this? Dog food. Yummy. Oh, what's this? Steel flask. That's another thing we can use to store water. And eat these crisps. It takes so much. Take it. Okay, how big is this? Not that big. Got water in it, very nice. Okay, we're gonna drink the water. Drink and drink. You can fill it up outside if it does start raining. We can just drop these ones. Right, drop. Drop. I don't know if they refill this laying like that, but we can try. Like, here for example, and here. Let's see if it fills up with laying like that. Science. What else have we got here? We got another pot in here. Nice, we got 2 pots. Anything else? Yeah, we got a lot of food. That's nice. This probably gives some hydration, I get it. A little bit. We got a drink. Oh, another container. Very nice. Probably put that out there too, right? When it rains. It would be nice if it actually rained now. But, oh, right, okay. Take on the arm. Place. Wait, there's milk? Wait, what? How did that turn into milk? What? Okay. I don't know what happened there. That was just weird. What else have we got? Food or water? Any water? Food. System's struggling a little bit. Fire starting stuff. Up here. We got some as a fuse. What's this? Oh, nice, a little balcony. Bit more wood. Very cool. Okay, well, we're really good now. Dog's playing poker. Classic. Where's a fuse? Here's a fuse. So let's just grab a fuse in our hands. And that did not work. And now I can't see. Let's place this, I don't know, here. There's a fuse. Where'd you go? Huh. That's not a bad idea. So let's take that And... oh, God. Is it really that hard? Come on. There we go. That's so hard. There's the actual generator. Here it is. Turn it on. Now we got lights, I guess. Right? Lights in the fridge. The fridge light is on. And that light. That's cool. The fridge light is on. No one's home. Okay, so now we can actually, for example, turn this on. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah, now you can actually heat stuff up. Put wood on here, like we did earlier, and then you start heating up, and my wet clothes will get dry. Actually, most of this is dry. Some are damp and wet, but not too bad. Doesn't seem like the actual hob itself does anything, because if you look, it's still pretty wet. We gotta put something on it, right? So we can just do like last time, of course. Just take the stuff. Again, I just popped, you know. This is all pretty soaked, but you can just do your best, I guess. Put all this stuff on here. No, maybe not that one. It's just struggling a little bit there. Okay. Alright. Got this going for us again. Now we are actually warming up, I assume, right? Now we're warming up. Yeah, now this is drying. Very good. Okay. That's good. I think I'm going to call it now soon. But you get the idea, right? So we want to get to the weather station. If you're playing the story mode, well, I guess it's called story, and we are like maybe a third away the way there, a quarter away, something like that. So to get there, it's going much further. And before it was really easy with the fire starter. You just run, you get there. It's really easy. Now it's a little bit harder because you get wet and cold. You kind of got to go from cabin to cabin. You can get by though. You can start fires in the open too. There's a lot you can do in this game, and it is kind of hard. But the main selling point really is the terrain. That's the star of this show. How they've done such a good job with a procedurally generated map. Am I carrying the lamp? Is that what's happening here? I'm emanating light. Is that because I got the lantern? Where's the lantern? I don't have it. Is it this one? No. Why am I emanating light then? There's no lantern here. What's going on? I think did I break the lantern by accident? Put it on here and it broke. Or what happened? I'm not sure what happened exactly with the lantern. Is it embedded in me forever now? Is that what's happening? So look, I got this permanent light source around me. Ah, there it is. I had it under my arm. That's what it was. That's cool though, that you could do that. But yeah, so you can see the star here as the terrain. This is all procedurally generated stuff. It's really, really cool. It's really well developed in the sense that they have these systems that creates basically a random world terrain-wise, but they fill it with cliffs, trees, and they follow certain rules and algorithms. And the assets in the game are all made by artists, so it's not AI. Obviously, there's machine learning in the sense that there's an AI generator here that helps make the world and put everything together, but the assets themselves are made by humans. When you go into the cabins there and all the stuff you find, everything that's made in it's made by artists, so which is something I appreciate. Because then, what you're doing is humans are making stuff, and then they're utilizing the AI to put it all together. It's a weird thing to do. Makes sense you could do this stuff, but I mean, mess it up so bad. But yeah, it's a good game. So, well, you do know the objective here is to get to the weather station, which you haven't seen yet, but it is somewhere in the northeast. It will be somewhere that way. What I'll do is I'll probably end this run now, just so you can see what's end screen looks again. And of course you got certain bugs, like you got a tree that's floating, and that happens. And you got there's a few of those, and there's sometimes also the game is a bit clunky. You're sort of fighting the inventory. You're really trying to you're arguing with items. Like you want to pick this item up, but you don't have the space, so then you're picking it up and you gotta put something else back or rotate things in your backpack. Sure, in real life it kind of works like that too. You gotta organize your inventory and this and that. But it's clunky, it's really, I really don't like the inventory system. It's just too much. Now there is a sort button here, you can click, which makes things a lot easier. You can also do like this, and it puts it all on the ground, which is nice. So there are ways to tidy things up, for sure, which helps. But it's a little bit clunky with the little things. I don't know, I prefer if it was a little bit more fluid. I don't mind that it's space-based like this. Actually, eat this. Oh, wow, that filled you up. I guess it just eats the whole thing regardless of how much you actually need. But anyway, I don't mind it's space-based. Also, you'll get bigger backpacks as you explore anyway. But it's a little bit clunky. I wish I didn't have to argue with the machine the whole time. But yeah. But other than that, it's very impressive. This is basically a stage for a larger world building. The developer has their own engine called Melba. There's a free game called Preface or Preface that you can try, which basically builds randomly generated worlds, kind of like this, but on planet scale. Like they make a whole planet procedurally generated, which is crazy. But it's only like the actual environment that's made, nothing else. That's kind of the goal, though, of the game in the long run. Make kind of like a universe procedurally generated you can live in. 3D internet sort of thing. And this is kind of like the first step. This is kind of like calling a tech demo is not really fair, I don't think. But it's a way to utilize technology. They're using the Unreal Engine to make these amazing terrains and putting through together with weather and plants and rocks and the cabins. I mean, look at this. Doesn't this look really good? Look at the atmosphere this creates. Sure, the trees are a little bit weird, like thin and at the top. I know some trees are like that, but there's some are bugged as well. But overall, though, generally speaking, this is pretty well put together. And there's a dynamic weather system that interacts with the world. There's a sun and a moon that moves. Now there's the sun coming up, I guess. I see how the terrain is changing. It looks really good. And this is sort of game that is only going to get better with time, because all the clunkiness will get fixed. The bugs will get fixed. The features will be polished. And things that people really don't like will probably be removed, and things that people dislike will be people like will be added, and dislikes will be removed. They listen really well to community. They take into account what us Pathfinders or playtesters say, but also what people in general say. So it's got a lot of potential. It's a game that can go somewhere. For me, also as a researcher who actually professionally researches video games, it's got a lot of applications because I can track how people navigate and that sort of thing. So it's quite a useful research application as well. But that's a whole nother story. overall, this game is somewhere that I'm really excited to see how it develops. Like, where's it going to go? What does this game look like a year from now? It's already advanced fairly fast in 6 months, and it's just going to keep being polished and polished. So when this goes out of early access, I'm very excited to see how that goes. It's a good game. I'm very excited to see it progress, and at the moment it's an enjoyable experience. It's basically a camping or hiking experience. You can ignore the story if you want and just play a survival mode, but regardless, it's fun to just be in the world. It's a very big world, you know, it's massive, and you can just live in it and see your impact on it. And it's really well crafted, and it's just going to get better. So I'm really curious to see how this goes. There are some things that could be improved, like sometimes you're fighting the game, or sometimes it doesn't do what you want it to do. But assume that all those things will get fixed, and also more interactions will take place, and all this stuff. So it's got a lot of potential, this game. I think it's going to be good in the long run. Okay. So, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to just end the character, and we can see the map screen again. It was fun, though. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a run. You can let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me do this again and actually get to the weather station. That will be a longer video, though, because it's quite a hike. But it can be done. But let me know in the comments. Let's just do a little dive up here. Sorry, Lucy. Parkour. Actually, just gets up. Took a little tumble. Called the number 0811-999 88199 9111 725 3. Okay, so Lucy is unkillable or something. Lucy. She just won't die. Wow, this is one tough woman. It's just like, nothing. It's possible that it's bugged out, because I noticed that if you earlier, even if it's in a different game, if you enter God mode, for example, create cinematic shots, right? And you put on God mode so you don't die while you're filming in the air. If you disable it, sometimes it's still on. That happens in the Long Dark too. So it could be that that's what happened there. But I mean, I did disable it in a test before I made this. I don't think that's what happened. I think Lucy's a bit sturdy, but who knows? I'll just say it. There is one way we could end it. You can go into the dev mode, which I have access to, which is to go up here and we can pick cheat, and then there is one, or maybe it's not here. It tells you to kill Lucy. Where is that? Lucy's item wetness, sorry. Where is it? There's a button here. Bear with. Here we are. Sorry, I missed it. Here. Kill Lucy, you monster. Which is funny. And then you die. Let's see what happens. Oh no. I died from falling. Isn't that a shame? Then I'll tell you how many calories. I think, is this on average or total? I think it's total. Hydration level. A lot. But it's overall pretty good. Distance to shells was pretty far, probably the cabinets came from. This is going quite well. As you saw, you use the resource at your disposal. So you see that because I had the foresight to bring fuses, I could then turn on the generator in that cabin and then light the fire on the hull, which warmed me up and basically saved me. Which is very cool. All right, let's have a look at the map. So this is the journey down here. And now it's working as intended. So this is showing all the cabins in the game. And in fact, I seem to have found a lot of them. And this is all the cabins. The weather stations up here. There's more or less where I guess there would be, give or take. I never found them. But these are all the cabins. And what's cool about this, we can see where you've traveled, is that you can see what you missed. So let's try and zoom in a bit here. For example, here, if there had been cabins there, but dang, I just missed it, you know. But here, actually, I was quite successful because obviously there was a cabin right next to me, which I found. There's another cabin there. And I followed this trail here, and then I found this cabin. This is the lookout point where I went there, and I looked around to see where I was. And I did think it was around here. But I think the cabin I was talking about was this cabin. I think I was around, I thought I was around here, but actually I was around here. It makes sense if you look at the train, actually. As you can see, it's quite a while to go. I mean, I did what? How far is this? 20% of the distance? Of course, I lingered in pretty much every cabin I found. But I was in this little valley here. You can just keep going, and you find another cabin, and just keep cabin to cabin until eventually you get there. So it's not that hard. Just if you want to play it safe, you gotta just do it that way. But yeah, it's a cool. I like this map. I like that this map is added. This is a great feature to show how you travel across the world. Because if you survive in here, then this will look crazy. But yeah, it's neat. It's a very neat feature. This thing. Okay. Now with that said, I think that yeah, let's do like this. I think that's the end of this video. It's a fun game to play because it's so big, and you kind of get to admire the world. You can also play on exploration mode, so you don't have the survival elements. You can just go around and live in the world and just explore it without having to worry about dying, which is really nice. You can do story mode, or you can do survival mode. It says it's cabinless, but that's not true. But probably that will be true. But I think that should be a separate feature. Like, you know, it's one mode with cabins and one without. You know, whatever. I don't know. But it's a fun game to be in because of the scale of it. It takes quite a lot of time to actually invest into the world to survive for a long time. And you'd have to either keep the game open or save it. And saving is something new. It's still a bit buggy. It works, but it's a little bit buggy. So I'm not sure I'm ready to invest in like a long-term run to survive for a long time. At the moment, the game doesn't track how long you survived. It says it's more based on real time. It doesn't really say like how many. Does it say? No. See, it doesn't. It says how far you traveled here and the time, right? But it doesn't say the days. So it's in real time because you don't sleep. So it just goes from one day to another, which is X amount of minutes. And then you measure by time. So PlayerUnknown told me the longest survival he'd seen so far was 17 hours. However many days that is. Is that like, I don't know, 30 days, 40 days or something? So that's something that I would like to see. It tracks how many days you survive. Or just a pen that you can use to scratch it off in your map or something. So there's all these little nuances that still need to be added. And because it's still a little bit buggy with saves and stuff, I'm a little bit averse to doing long runs at the moment. But it's definitely a game that when it's a bit more stable and you feel like you can invest the time into surviving it for longer, I would definitely be up for trying this again and try to survive long term in it. To just see how long I can survive. Story mode or not story mode, it doesn't matter. That would be cool. That would be fun. And see the movement afterwards, you know. So yeah, this game is hard to you can't brush this game off. It's the first version of it looked like any other sort of crude early access game. That's because they released it in like a very early like beta form. But it just keeps getting polished and improved upon and listened to community. They're very, very open. You can join their Discord and you can talk to other players. You can talk to the devs. They will listen to input. And they will take criticism. They'll take praise. And they're very transparent in what they're planning to do. There's a like limited spaces in the playtesting or Pathfinder group, which I am in, which has access to builds. But they're very inclusive, the devs. They're very friendly people. They're very inclusive. They're good listeners. This is a game that's going to go somewhere. And I'd be very curious to see what the final stage of this game looks like. So it's a game that I'm excited to follow. I think it's only going to get better. Will it be like a gigantic success? Not necessarily. It depends on how the end looks, and it depends on how it appeals to survival players. But at the moment, it's a unique candidate because it's so strong with the procedurally generated maps. The terrain technology is absolutely insane. It's really well made how they can make these procedurally generated maps that are so big and so thorough and so detailed. That is a technological achievement in and of itself. And then they place you in this world, which makes it so exciting. This is the game to watch. It's going to be one of the big ones in time. It just needs to get a bit more developed, a bit more polished, and have maybe a bit better, clearer sense of identity, I guess, and what exactly it's trying to achieve. But this is an exciting project, and all the praise goes to the developers. They've all done a great job with this. It must be really hard work designing all this technology, basically. And I look forward to see where it goes. All right. I think that's it for this video. Enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Feel free to try this game out yourself. If you are watching this video prior to November 20th, you can, I think the demo is available, but on November 20th, you can play the full game in early access mode. And basically pretty much everything you saw in this video will be available as well. And let me know what you think about it, and let the devs know too. But I'd be happy to take your input too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, survivors. Bye bye.